Hello and welcome to Saturday night live here in Rundetårnet in Copenhagen. I'm gonna do it in English because of Diane. We're gonna see a few movies tonight. You're probably gonna tell a little bit about that later on. But first of all, I just wanna tell a little story from like seven years ago. In the south of France, I was invited for this festival. It was a little bit like Louisiana, but in the south of France, in a little town called Hier. A festival on with showing art, photography, and some fashion. And I was running around and doing all kind of projects there. And I was a little bit stressed. I was looking for something, running down some stairs, and suddenly in front of me. In this stress moment, there was standing this, I don't know, like a little bit, when I had to describe it, was like this, there was standing this woman in some black plateau shoes, with a dress, long dress on, with a big black coat, with sunglasses, the hair was like set up, and with a piece of fabric and a needle, and with red lipsticks, and very pale, and saying, "Hello. Are you Henrik?" And I was like, "Yeah." And that was the first. That's like 8 years ago, and that was the first time when I met Diane, which is here, and she was down there to do a documentary about this festival. So she was running around with this camera the whole 2 weeks or something, or 1.5 weeks. And that was the first introduction to you. And I thought like there was some kind of a little bit mysterious kind of aura around you, and I was like, who the hell is this woman? And there's probably a few people thinking the same. Who the hell is, and maybe I thought maybe you could give us a little short introduction, a little something about your past, or where you're from.
Well, how far back do we have to go?
Go back. That's like you from the States, or?
Yeah, I'm from the States. I was in New York for 13 years as a designer. Moved to Paris about 19 years ago. Making films and writing. And talent scout for the Festival of the Year. And what you're going to see tonight is a film festival which I founded 2 years ago. But I had another one 2 years before, which was also in Copenhagen. Invited by Henrik after one of his shows in a little circus tent.
It was a little bit more lo-fi version of this event, but it was the first section of the festival, and we didn't have. It was on my credit card, so we didn't have that much money. So we brought this in silver, as you probably know. We brought this white pavilion, and out there this film festival was showed, and that was probably 5 years ago. But you're from New York?
Well, actually I was born in Washington, D.C. and grew up in Philadelphia, moved to New York. Parents were both born in New York, then moved to Paris.
And you educated in?
Both Philadelphia and New York. My degree was in filmmaking, and then in New York I went to school for fashion for 9 months.
So you already started very early with the film thing as well?
Yeah, lo-fi, always lo-fi.
Great, me too. And what happened in New York? Why did you move to Paris? Like that was like
New York in the end of 1990 was kind of like Blade Runner. It was they let all the mental patients out of the hospital. They were all living on the street. AIDS was just taking over, and there were the mole people living in the metros. I just thought as a designer it wasn't that inspiring to live there.
So that was in what, 87?
No, 90, the end of 90.
Okay. And then to Paris?
Then to Paris, which had kind of 4 years later, they were having a lot of homeless problems too. And of course there was the Gulf War in 91, the beginning. So that wasn't such a great time to move. Nonetheless, I'm still there.
And whoa. And then when did you start with all this, been doing quite a lot of like filming people and doing documentary, that kind of started from Paris, right?
Yeah, probably I was doing the filming more or less about 17 years. In the beginning I had some camera guys working with me. Then I got a little mini DV camera, and then I got Final Cut Pro. And life improved greatly.
And then, I've been quite a lot around the world, but you've been crazy. And you've been, I don't know, is there any places where you haven't been?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still waiting to be invited to Buenos Aires for their fashion week.
But you've been traveling with the festival, and as well as you've been working as a journalist as well for pt.1 back in the days on Elm, right?
Yeah, back in the days. But I haven't worked for them for, I guess, 4 years maybe. Vogue, Paris.com, yeah.
But you still do a little bit of writing on...
Yeah, well, I have my blog, of course, and I'm the co-editor-in-chief for Zoo magazine. And I write for a tattoo magazine too called Song Bleu out of Switzerland.
But anyway, it's good to have you here in Copenhagen, and it's not even a fashion week as well. It's just a documentary festival.
Even better.
Even better. And I've been seeing some of those. I saw the first festival, and I've seen the lineup for tonight. And just for your information, then there's going to be another screening on Saturday, next Saturday, where there's going to be a few more films in, which is not in tonight. At Down.
The 12th.
How does it work? You have a festival and people are sending up.
Well, we have an open call on my site, and I go to certain designers or directors, like I came to you and Ada, whose work I like, and ask if they consider making a film or if they have a film. And yeah, word of mouth. And the festival gets press, so sometimes directors call up and say, you know, I have this film I just heard about, is it too late? Because there's a film like that in this time called High, which I had to write up in Interview magazine, and the producer called for the director and said, this sounds really interesting, is there any chance this film can be shown? And then we have a jury, and Rick Owens was the president of the jury this year, and Nan Golding, actress Maria de Medeiros.
Nan Golding is pretty classic.
Yeah,
Old
she's
school.
great. Old school.
Old school.
Yeah. 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she's been doing some. It's pretty wild, I would say.
Hardcore, yeah. Well, for the jury, we had to send everybody the DVDs of a selection, and then they had to choose their favorites because it was impossible to get the jury all together at the same time because everybody was traveling. So Nan Goldin insisted I call her in New York, so we chat some more over. She really wanted to be a part of it, but she wasn't present.